Hey YouTube, Cave Dweller, 1959. Today I want to talk to you about a rifle that I've got here. It is the Savage B-Mag, chambered in 17 Winchester Super Mag. Probably the hottest little thing that'll be out in the prairie dog towns this coming summer. It's February 2014 right now. This gun was supposed to come out a year ago. February 2013, never really seen it out and about till midsummer. Really haven't seen any kind of ammo for it till recently, and still not a whole lot of it, but I was fortunate enough to get a couple boxes. Got to go play with it. Quick little rundown on it. Weaver bases come supplied with it. Removable magazines from Savage, nothing new. Retainer clip on the front, very easy in, easy out, 8-round rotary mag. Proved very well. It was easy to load, easy to unload if you didn't shoot them all. Had absolutely no issues with it. Worked fantastic. The bolt, they did not invent this on this gun. This is old. The locking lugs are on the rear instead of the front. System they call cock on close. When you drop the bolt from here on down, you are loading the spring, so to speak, that's going to fire the pin. So there is a little bit of tension. Some folks might find it annoying at first, but after you're out there shooting it, it's farthest thing from your mind. Don't worry about it. There is quite a bit of pressure. The bolt release is right here. Push, drops right out. Very simple. Works well. It has an AccuTrigger in it. Nothing new there from Savage. They've been doing that for 20 years maybe longer, maybe last a long time. You get in the book, how do you adjust it? It says take the barrel action out of the stock, you roll it over. You notice this gun has absolutely no exposed bolts, no... How do you get it out of there? Get back in the book, through the magazine well, take a screwdriver, and if you're sitting out on a dog town or something and you decide you want to loosen it, tighten it, I'm sure a car key fit right in there. You just give it a light push. Notice that just came up. What happens? Your entire trigger guard just came off. And that shows you your bolts. One in the back. That's pretty basic. 2 bolts hold most guns together. The rear one, like most, remove it, don't lose it. The front one has a retainer clip on it. It will stay with the stock. As long as you don't lose your stock, you won't lose the bolt. Those of you familiar with the AccuTrigger, being up front, your adjustments, got your little key. They switched the game plan a little bit on this. The adjustment is now on the back. This little wheel right here will not turn. There's detents in it under normal shooting or anything. Lift that up. There's a spring in there. You lift it up. You can rotate it. Clockwise with the barrel upside down. Clockwise increases tension on your trigger. Counterclockwise reduces tension. They have a mechanism here if you want to go beyond what Savage wants you to go. You can't turn what you can, it'll just rotate itself back to the starting point, I'm going to call it, the 2.5 pound setting. Savage calls it a 2.5, 6 pound trigger. Very simple to adjust. Very easy. Neat little pattern. There's a very small hole right here. You look in there, you can see your sear engagement. My idea on it, put her back together, I'll show you how I think it's going to get done by the vast majority of people that ever want to do it. You notice this gun comes apart very, very easy. Goes back together very, very easy. Virtually no reason for this gun to fail because it's dirty. Okay? Put back together. I don't know if you can see that. Your wheel is right here. Bare fingers. I can just barely get in there and turn it. take a simple needle nose pliers. You can get in there and do anything you want to do. You're setting out on a dog town or a rifle range or whatever else. You decide it's too heavy, too light. Needle nose pliers, fingers if it's warm, if it's not freezing. You know, you can sit there and adjust these things in your basement, think you got them perfect. You get out in the real world, whoops. Winter time, you got some gloves on, you're calling coyotes, you want them a little bit heavier, big old fat glove in there. Sets all through spring, you get out on a dog town, like, man, that trigger's heavy. Pop it off, easy. Reassembly, this little tab right here on the back, fits in a groove right there. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Drop your mag back in. Drop your bolt back in. I'm going to put a 12 power Leupold, straight M8 12 power on here. Go sit on a rifle range. Sometimes you got time to do it, sometimes you don't. I had to go when I had to go. I didn't get to choose I had to choose my day. Mother Nature threw me a curveball. It was windy when I left home. It was ridiculous windy when I got to the rifle range. I sat up on the inside of the berm and I shot a bunch of pop bottles. Running through a chronograph, definitely out of the question. There's probably a 30 to 35 mile an hour wind blowing. I got some very good footage to see how destructive, to see how it's very impressive, the horsepower, if you want to call it that, impact. What it does, Gatorade bottles, pop bottles, that stuff. I shot some eggs. There's some difficult video. If you look, there's actually 3 eggs in that. There's some snow in the background. The front one's very difficult to see. 2 eggs literally make this bullet disintegrate. The 3rd egg takes a little bit of hit, rolls off, falls on the ground. 2 eggs. Bullet is completely disrupted. Let's go down to the rifle range, do some shooting. We get done there, going to come back in here. We're going to talk about some targets that I've got behind me. Accuracy potential. Interesting. See you in a bit. Hey, we're back down here at one of my favorite places, the local rifle range. Got the B-Mag out, Winchester Super Mag 17. Got about a 30 mile an hour wind blowing. So we're just going to shoot some bottles and some different things to see how destructive this little bugger is going to be come summer. The prairie dogs are out. You can see this rotary magazine right there. Very easy to load. Easy to unload. Of course, you're unloading, you're shooting something. That's a whole lot more fun than loading any day. Takes 8 rounds. I got a half dozen bottles or so set up over there. I am inside the berm of the shooting range. Like I said, we got a 30, 35 mile an hour wind blowing. It's about 30 degrees out. Not the greatest day in the world to be doing this. Being it's a loaner gun, I got to do it when I can, not when I want to. I'm going to move this camera down there by them bottles. We're going to start shooting stuff. We're going to try a few egg shots here. Eggs keep rolling off there. Try to get 5. The wind is howling. I'm going to try to get 3 just to see what really happens there. Couple more bottles, then we'll be done. Hey, you know, as an afterthought, I was ready to go. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to set the truck there. I'm on the 50-yard line. I'm going to shoot for group. I got 2 targets down there. I'm going to shoot the 20 grains on the left, 25 grains on the right. I'm going to back up to the 100-yard target, do the exact same thing. They say this has twice as much energy or whatever as a 17 HMR. The wind bucking ability is so much higher. Not a better time to find out than when you got a 25-30 mile an hour wind blowing. See what happens. Here we are back in the cave playing with the 17 Super Mag. This is what we've been shooting here. Winchester, obviously the Varmint HV, that's high velocity, 20 grain load, 3,000 feet per second. The HE, high energy, 25 grain load, 2,600 feet per second. Most of the video you saw was the 25 grain load. Something happened to my camera and most of the 20 grain load didn't download into my computer or whatever. The eggs were shot with the 20 grain. Just about everything else you see was a 25. When I was shooting groups, that's what we're going to talk here, paper. These groups being off center, big deal, off bullseye. This gun was sighted pretty much close at 25 yards, 20 yards where I was shooting those bottles because of the wind. So I didn't do any sight adjustments, just sat down, shot for target, shot for group. 25 grain load. There's your 50 grain, 50 yard group, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty close, not bad considering the conditions. This one here, maybe a flyer, maybe not. Back that same load up to 100 yards, shot on the same target. Very little difference. It's only about 3/4 of an inch higher than this group. It opened up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a flyer clear up here. Maybe a flyer, definitely a flyer. The 17 in the 20 grain load, 1, 2, 3, 4, one kind of out there in limbo land possibly. Back up to 100 yards. Look at the difference in wind drift from what you just looked at with the heavier bullet versus a lighter. There's about 3 fingers of drift. There was maybe 1 finger with the 25 grain load, about 3 fingers with the 20 grain load. Plus this load opened up quite a bit with the flyer. This gun likes flyers. Don't know why. Maybe the ammo, maybe the gun, everything is new. There's probably bugs to be worked out. But from the looks of it, it prefers the 25 grain bullet. Being windy that day, next morning I was back on the range. It was absolutely dead calm. Threw a bipod on the rifle, sandbags under the heel. Shot again. I dropped, you seen them were hitting low with the 25 grain, 25 yard 0. Dropped down, shot this one. I just moved it up and over a little bit. Started shooting. Here's my 25 grain on that particular. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the way I would expect this gun to shoot. Except, there's number 5. The thing likes flyers. The 20 grain load, just as what we expected off them other targets with the wind. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a flyer. Another thing that's interesting about this, if you're heading out someplace and you got half a dozen or a couple boxes of 20s, a couple boxes of 25s this summer going prairie dog hunting, the difference in impact points. That's aiming right on this target. It was pretty darn close. This group, dead on this target, I'm 4 full fingers low. Probably a good 3 inches difference in impact, those 2 bullets. Anyway, that's what I found with the 17 Winchester Short Mag. It's all interesting. It's all fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you like what you see here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot, YouTube. This Cave Dweller 1959.